Good morning and welcome to ARL-TV for the V8 SuperCar series. This is round 10, coming to you live from Oran Park. I'm joined with my co-commentator today, Andrew Woodhouse. Good morning, Andrew. I think he's there. Andrew will be with us just in a second, but as I said, round 10 of V8 SuperCar series. Just give a big shout out to some of the sponsors here today as well. So Apex Racing League for putting on, hosting, organising, arranging, doing everything. Tom Jones, Mark Noble, Tim Foltz, the main chaps involved in that. So big thanks to those guys. Without you, we would not be doing this. Let's not forget Sim News Daily, Alistair over at simnewsdaily.com as well. If you want to keep track of all the latest sim news, jump on there, take a look. Pretty much covers everything. I don't think there's anything he misses. So check it out. Lots of news, very up to date. And let's not forget our title sponsor as well, Pagnian Imports. Supplies of rigs, wheel stands, butt kickers, you name it. They've pretty much got it easy for you guys to get hold of if you are over in Australia. So pagnianimports.com.au. Just having a quick look at qualifying as it stands at the moment. Just a few minutes left. Marlon McMullen is in pole position, Simon Black in second, Matty Burnett in third, Tom Jones in fourth, David Oliver in fifth, Marty Atkins in sixth, Tobias, who won last round, in seventh, Tim Foltz eighth, Cedric Finsack in ninth, Evan Jenkins in 10th. And Brenton O'Brien in 11th. A few more guys still to qualify, but I think generally the track is giving them something to think about. Are you back yet, Woody?
I am, yes. Sorry about that. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to V8 SuperCars here at Oran Park. What's the grid looking like, Alex? I didn't really. I'm not in the session yet. I haven't had a chance to see. Is it the time's close?
Yeah, times are pretty close. Some usual faces up there, but also some new faces towards the front of the grid. So it's going to be interesting.
That's what we like. That's what we like. Short and twisty circuit, this one. What do you think, from what you've seen, is the main challenge then?
Well, I think by the number of people who haven't set a time, it looks like off tracks and things like that are going to be quite key today. And yeah, I think a few of the drivers might struggle out there, and let's hope that there's no slowdown penalties or anything like that, because that might spoil some of the fun.
Well, yeah, and if you, I suppose, if you can get through this race, incident extra points on offer, and also, you know, that might be key for the championship.
Yeah, Tom Jones got himself on the grid. Kimmy's Rural Fencing driver. Coastal Kitchens.
Looks like the grid slots are quite abstract here, Alex, if I'm looking at that.
Yeah, they don't quite look like they're on the marks there, do they? So, Marlon McMahon in the packaging and more car.
One thing I have to say is, this being a new track to iRacing, I think iRacing did a terrific job with this track. This track doesn't actually exist anymore for those who don't follow V8 SuperCars. This track was demolished, wasn't it, to make way for a housing development, I believe.
It was, and it's great to see that obviously it remains in history to perfection as well, laser scanned. So, you know, I think some of the Australian guys really appreciate that iRacing got themselves over there before it was demolished, got it scanned, so it remains in history.
Just a quick one, mate. What are the odds of someone falling off the bridge?
It'd be great to see, I have to say.
The revs are up then.
Green, green, green!
And the green flag flies in Oran Park. There's a tremendous start off the front row there. And Marty Atkins.
Oh, he's straight on!
Off goes Simon Black, completely off the track.
Both the CST drivers, they're going off turn one.
See the other one.
Somehow they always seem to be involved in something.
Alan McMullen leads. Matt Burnett in second. Then Tom Jones in third. Fourth is Walters. Dave Oliver fifth as they go over the bridge for the first time. Got Cherney in sixth. Simon Black's recovered seventh. Eighth is Finsack. Ninth Chris Lucky. 10th Peters. Then Noble. Then Atkins is last. Unbelievable. As going very side out of the last corner was McMullen. That might allow Matt Burnett a little bit of a chance, Alex, to close right up.
Yeah, Matty looking racy today. It's nice to see him up the front.
More grid this week though, mate, and I'm guessing by that a lot of people found this track difficult.
Oh, there's contact again. More collision. Everybody struggling through that turn one.
Dave Oliver went off, but one of the CST drivers, Simon Black, has been turned around by Cherney.
Yeah, I think the guys just need a little bit more patience here. Everybody diving in there, so something for the admins to look at. It's just
the
quickly.
The top three have escaped, Alex. McMullen, Burnett, Jones. Got a big lead now over Dave Oliver.
Yeah, it's just taking a quick look at the start back. Marty Atkins obviously got caught in turn one, so he got a fantastic start. 2 places off of the line. Having a look in the middle of the two, packaging and more cars as well. Brakes heavy. I'm not quite sure. Goes a little bit wide himself, gets on the gravel, tries to come back on the track in front of one of the Zona cars as well, and gets turned around. So I think that's 6 of 1.
McMullen's gone, Alex. McMullen's in the gravel leader. That's an absolute disaster. He might be able to get back on in front of Cherney. No, he can't, so absolute disaster for Marlon McMullen, and that leaves Matt Burnett in the lead.
Matty Burnett taking up the reins at the front there then, so let's see how he does. It's nice. It'd be nice to see Matty win a race, actually, I have to say. I mean, I know it's really early days, lap 3 of 45, but I for one would love to see him at the top of the podium.
Yeah, I think he might have raced before, Alex, but he definitely had in this sort of quality of field, I don't think. And I have to say that it will be refreshing to see. You're on about him taking up the reins. Well, I think most of the jockeys have fallen off already. We've only actually got a couple left in any sort of contention at the front.
Marlon now having a look, trying to work his way back through the pack just behind Tobias here.
Yeah, and you can see actually now that things have settled down, as Chris Lucky's having a look at Marty Atkins and has gone through, I think. Though Atkins might be able to... Oh, he's back through. I don't know what Chris Lucky's doing, whether he's doing a fuel-saving strategy as usual, or...
Yeah, I
just
think.
Let go.
Well, I don't think Chris expected to race today. He managed to get back home just in time to enter the session from work. So I'm not sure there's been too much practice gone on. So yeah, he's probably just struggling trying to find his feet out there at the moment.
I have to say, I do not think this is an easy circuit to come to if you haven't had any practice.
It's very, very tight, tricky. You can see the cars bouncing around there.
It's very bumpy. That's one thing as well that you underestimate when you first drive the track. You don't think it's going to be quite as undulating as this. Have you driven the track, what do you think?
Do you know, I actually haven't drove the track apart from to go on to do a photo shoot for the Pagnian Imports car that we use on the website. That's the only time I drove it, and I drove around about 5 miles an hour. Something to look forward to, I'm sure, for the next season.
Chris Lucky must be definitely saving fuel, Alex, because he's just letting everybody through on the straight, and he's miles in front of them. Not sure what he's doing, whether he's just racing around and not wanting to get involved with anything.
I know his brother's expected to join us for next season, so I wonder if Richard's been doing a little bit of practice this week and let him know that fuel saving is possible around here. As we know, Chris particularly good at doing it, so
Let's have a look. 111.5 for Lucky, 109.1 for Burnett. 2 seconds a lap slower. You know, I think that's too slow, to be honest, at this point.
Yeah, 45 laps is, yeah, it's definitely going to take a long time.
I think he's letting people do, though, to be honest, mate. I'm not even sure it's fuel saving. I think might not be wanting to interfere with the CST drivers, possibly. Them being at the top of the championship and him not being in contention.
Well, the race really for the championship now is between those two guys as well, the two CST lads, so they're fighting amongst themselves. If I'm honest, I don't think anyone else really has a look in now, so it's interesting to see them both go off into turn 1 on lap 1 as well. So
that's what pressure can do to you. And then McMullen obviously coming to grief. He's recovered nicely. He didn't hit anything. He's only six and a bit seconds behind the leader. I tell you what's interesting, mate. It might all just close right up again. Because you've got a couple of guys who you would think would be the quickest on the track, Cherney and McMullen, only about 5 or 6 seconds behind. They look to be closing up on Tom Jones.
Yeah, I know Tom's particularly good on the long run as well. You see Tom's pace towards the end of the race. Typically he'll start closing people down, and it's where he makes his moves, so he's normally the first lap victim. So it's nice to see him up the front in an early stage of the race. I'm trying to remember the last time he had a good start. I'm thinking it was Brands Hatch, end of last year, and I'm sure he went on to win that race. So let's keep an eye on him. Maybe I've cursed him.
I think I was in that race, but I can't remember what happened at the front. But Matt Burnett leads by 2.6 from David Oliver. Tom Jones in third. Something happened to Tom Jones, Alex, because he was second, wasn't he?
Yeah, I didn't see anything.
Went on the track something a couple of laps ago.
Yeah, I didn't see anything. I have to say the camera's sort of focusing on the Tobias and Marlon battle, which is now three-way as they've caught up to the back of Tom Jones.
He did it, I must admit, he'd 108, 109, 109, 111.5, 109, so might have been what happened to Tom, but now he's got his hands full as he's got Tobias Journey and Marlon McNulty. He's just letting these guys pass. Interesting.
Yeah, not sure what that's about. Mr. Jones, call yourself a racer? Get on it.
Letting 2 drivers pass. I don't know if that's a good idea. Certainly Matt Burnett won't be grateful for that, I'll tell you that.
Just as we jump on board with Marlon McMullen here, still trying to chase down Tobias. I think Marlon perhaps thought he had a chance there to get Tobias when he was going to get held up a little bit by Tom, but not the case. And as the camera switches over to look at Tom, and back to Marlon.
Just having a look from the cockpit view, actually, just how bumpy and tight this Oran Park circuit is. It's nice and flowing in places, but very tight and tricky and awkward in others, I think.
It's a fantastic looking track, actually, I have to say. But yeah, you can see the challenges there as Marlon's working the wheel, something crack there. Up, down, left, right, cambers here and there, and he's fighting that. That looked amazing from on board. He just about keeps it. He had to work that something chronic. Something wrong.
Did you see how close he got to the wall there, Alex, before he turned in? That was impressive. Bit of oval racing almost there.
I have to say, his helmet was in the way, so I can't see the right-hand side.
Oh, terrific save coming onto the straight. And we'll see this section here up the hill. Up and over the top of the hill and up towards the bridge. Oh, in the car.
Yeah, lots of reverse, very, very much fighting it.
I mean, look how the wheel's just constantly moving. There's hardly any time when the wheel stays still.
You can still see Tom Jones in the background as well. So, just as the camera switches to this battle, Marty Atkins.
That chicane there looks fantastic. Before the last corner. It looks really fast, and you've got to be accurate there.
Oh, Marlon again, very, very close to the wall. Perhaps he just wants to scrub some of that graffiti off there.
It is extremely impressive how close he can get, but it does open up turn 1 slightly.
Oh, he's off!
That, a bit of a touch on the grass and the gravel there, just like lap 2 when he ended up spinning round. He will not want to repeat of that, that's for sure.
Yeah, he got lucky there, to be honest. Normally, if you clip that, it's a one-way ticket to the much larger gravel trap.
Oh, and there was that Churney going sideways through that corner.
Well, just
I
actually,
heard some tyres grubbing. It was just saw Churney flying past.
camera's just locked in on this battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th. We've got Marty, Atkins, Simon Black.
Walters.
Yeah, and Tim Foltz, sorry, 6th, 7th, and 8th, my bad.
And then, yeah, he's going to be under a bit of pressure now, Tim. Sure he can do with it well, though.
I'm pretty sure these guys will just need a top 5 today each, and they wrap up the Constructors' Championship, as well as probably 1st and 2nd in the Drivers' Championship as well.
Yeah, and a little ironic that they might be wrapping it up with 6th and 7th places, but you know, nevertheless, they've had a fantastic season, first season in the league, and we look forward to having them for next season.
Yeah, season 4, I think it will be now. Yeah. That's well underway as well. They're seeing in the forum areas, the moderators have started talking about it and plans and things like that. And I think we're going to have another exciting season.
As Atkins is almost pushing Folters over the bridge there, he's that close to him now. And Black's right behind. These guys need to be careful that they don't take each other out. As up the inside goes Black. He's trying to overtake his teammate in the infield section, and I don't know if he managed it. The cars look identical, I can't tell.
No, he didn't. Atkins holds on to it. It's I think it's important.
Off goes Jones. Jones is in the gravel legs before that last corner. So all these guys have gained the spot there.
Yeah, see Jones, he's got some rear end damage there as well, so car's having a little wiggle down the straight, so I'm not sure whether or not he's going to have to make an early pit stop or not. But yeah, I was saying Atkins, he really needs to hold on to this position every chance he's got to beat his teammate. He needs to do it for the closing rounds of the season. He might just have a little run at the championship if he can do that.
I think consistency's been key all year in this championship. And Matt Burnett must have been pretty well in the championship actually. He's had good results this season. And the gap's constant pretty much to Dave Oliver. Under 3 seconds. It will give Burnett a slight cushion. Hopefully when he comes in to make his pit stop.
Yeah, obviously those guys are teammates as well, know each other well, so I think even if they do get quite close to each other, we won't see too much extreme fighting going on with them holding 1st and 2nd.
So the battle we were watching for 6th and 8th is now for 5th, 6th and 7th. Tim Folters and the 2 CS2 drivers. This could be quite important here if one of these guys can get the jump on the other and then run away from it. But it's difficult to overtake at Oran Park, as we've seen so far.
Yeah, I think really the guys are just waiting for a tiny little mistake from the drivers in front, and then they can sort of pounce. But as we've seen, it is easy to make mistakes. It is a challenging track, and when you're under a lot of pressure, checking your rear view mirror and things like that, that's when mistakes can happen. Just miss that apex point just a little bit. Braking points just so crucial. You touch the grass and yeah, you really are going to struggle to hold on to the positions.
But like this section here, the chicane and the last turn, you can't really make a pass there because it's single file through the chicane. There's a bit wide. Goes Atkins almost into that wall there. That extends the track a little bit anyway out there.
Again, all three of them down into turn one. Nice and safe this time, nowhere near that. Gravel Tim just holding his line, doing what he needs to do. 5th place, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is probably one of the highest positions Tim's been in all season. He's really had, he's sort of a bit like Tom Jones, he's struggled with some bad luck on the earlier goings of most of the races this season. So,
and then in a lot of the races where he hasn't had bad luck, he hasn't had the pace to be up there, but he was definitely up there last season. Well, sorry, season 1. I think he might have won a couple of races, did he, in season 1?
I'm not sure, actually.
I remember, we need a stats file, mate. We need a stats file.
Yeah, well, 4 seasons now, so starting to roll on.
I might do that in the off season, as we've got. This battle is really, well, it's not the only battle going on actually, as Cherney is close right up to McMullen now for 3rd and 4th positions. Interesting scrap. Lost a bit of connection to Tom Jones there, so I wonder if he was struggling with lag. Mark Noble's left the session.
I did see that he was struggling in qualifying as well, so that's probably some of the reason he might have let them go. It's the one thing we have to say, I mean, we do host the servers in America because obviously we do have an international contingent of drivers, so it seems to be about the most central spot, but unfortunately it does cause lag for the drivers that are sort of on the extremes of the range. But yeah, perhaps that's something to look at next season, as the bulk of the drivers are now turning up from Australia. Just having a look at both the battles here that you mentioned, sorry. So we've got this 3-car battle as well, but Marlon and Tobias. Looks like Marlon's got just a little bit of breathing room, but if he makes another mistake going down into turn 1 and 2, he's definitely going to give that place up.
Yeah, it looks like there is such a fine line on this track between putting in a quick lap and crashing, essentially. That's how tight and difficult this track is, as McMullen goes a tiny bit wide there, but up and over the hill towards the bridge. The corner after the bridge, Alex, is surprisingly tight, and it caught me out a few times when I drove this track.
Yeah, do you know what? I think it even caught me out when I was doing my photo thing.
Oh dear,
and you know how slow I was going.
Well, I was going too fast as usual, and missed the corner.
Well, self-confessed, not the best tin top driver.
Oh, we'll get you there. We'll get you there.
Chop the roof off, make it into a convertible, but I'll be well away.
I think maybe another Brands Hatch appearance is due for yourself to get you ship shape. Oh, and speaking of mistakes at turn 1, McMullen again.
Oh, and there's contact here between Tim Foltz and I think that's Marty Atkins going down the straight. I'm not sure what was going on there. I'm going to have to look at that one back. I'll see if I can get that on replay.
What? Oh, I think Foltz was going in. I think Foltz was going into the pits.
Yeah, we
This looks ridiculous, this incident, if I'm honest. Can I just say that it looks ridiculous? Whether it's intentional or not is absolutely shocking. From both drivers, really. But Atkins is probably out of the race unless he can get a fast tow.
Yeah, let's just quickly take a look at it now, just for the viewers so they can see it. As you can see, Atkins definitely coming in. Tim very late coming in, I think, there. That's the thing. I think he wanted to cover off Atkins. Made the move a little bit late. Atkins already there, no chance to react. Yeah, that's basically ruined both of their races.
It looks absolutely shocking from there. I wouldn't like to say that was deliberate. It looks bad, but like I say, the pit lane entry is there, and
it is particularly tight as well. The drivers were saying how tight it was as Tim's crabbing down the straight as well. So yeah,
Tim asking Atkins, why are we going so fast into the pits? Oh, he's crashed in the pit lane as well. And maybe Atkins was going a bit quickly, but it's a tough one. I mean, not driving the track, I'm not sure what whether you can do that or not. But that's essentially ruined the race now. Apart from the battle for the top four, who are actually.
Well, I think you got Simon would have. I'm guessing he pitted in early, so would have jumped both of those guys now.
What happened to Simon then? Is he a lap down because he's pitted?
Oh, I think so.
Well, the top four are still only about 8 seconds separating them.
Tim's still out. He's just about to come into the pits now, I think. Oh no, sorry, I'm watching that on replay, aren't I? So, but he's out. He's got himself a fresh car. Still in the race, but yeah, I think he'll be a bit frustrated with that. Still finds himself in 6th place though, so.
I do think that there's still a chance of Cherney. I think if he gets past McMullen, actually being a factor in this race up at the front.
Yeah, McMullen was obviously the pole sitter, so he's not slow. So just seems to be struggling a little bit more with the consistency, I think, than anything.
I think his race pace isn't quite.
I think both. No, just the one in coming into the pits. This is Cherney's opportunity to get on past.
He's not a very good pit entry, I'll have to say.
It's not, and
I can defense of those two guys.
Yeah, I could see what Tim was saying there about perhaps how fast he was coming in, because when you see Marlon coming, he had to get it slowed right down.
And even then, he nearly hit the wall. I think I know. Yeah, it was going to be marginal, I think, for Atkins, but only he knows. Only he knows how fast he can go through there. So.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of drivers do spend a lot of time on pit entry. It is an area of the track that you can make up a lot of time, and a lot of people overlook it as well. And the best drivers, they do practice in laps a lot, and you can gain 2 or 3 seconds by doing it, and that can be a couple of places on the track. So Marty obviously fighting for the championship is something he probably would have done in his defence as well, so he might well have made it, but we'll never know.
Burnett's in from the lead.
Yeah, Oliver stays out as well, so he takes the lead.
I must admit, he had quite a slow pit entry just when we were talking about that, but it might have been more safe than slow.
Oh,
see what he can do on the way out.
Wide in turn 2, Zuna car. I do like the look of that one as well. It stands out so much more than his other teammates, the sort of blue.
Let's see if Burnett can get out. You would think he'd be coming out around where Chris Lucky is. I reckon these guys will be taking tyres here.
Well, just looking at the amount of work that they're doing. Oh, Oliver drifting it out of the corner there. Beautiful.
Yeah, he can't have tyres left, really.
Yeah. He's just thinking, sod it, I'm in a minute. Let's give it some large.
I think he might well be in a minute.
But Tobias has stayed out as well, so he takes up P2, and we know Tobias went quite long Mosport last week, so
Oliver carries on.
Yeah, he's obviously comfortable in the car at the moment.
Well, if you look at his lap times, actually, his lap times have stayed fairly constant, and in fact the last couple of laps he's been slightly quicker than he was in the previously. So as the fuel's wearing down, we're seeing that some cars are actually getting faster as the race goes on.
Yeah, I guess it's all about how they set the car up, really. Some of them will have set it up to burn those tyres out at the halfway mark so they get the most out of them as possible, while others will be trying to conserve them and go for that long run and have a really quick last stint or something like that. So yeah, we'll have to see how it pans out.
Because maybe some guys that are setting the car up not to work the tyres very hard at all might cost them a little bit in ultimate pace, but the consistency will remain, won't it? A bit more than set the car up aggressively as
Matty Burnett here coming up to the back of the Lenovo car of Chris Lucky.
Yeah, the only one of two Lenovo cars in the race today. And Cedric Finsack, the other one, was out on lap 3, I believe.
Yeah, Cedric, he doesn't have
Lap
much
6.
luck either, actually, at the start of the race.
No, he
races.
doesn't, but I have to say, I think a lot of that has to do with where he starts in the race. Starts sort of in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, definitely a danger zone, that is.
It is indeed, as we've seen that a lot of times, as Lucky lets Burnett through there.
I'm not sure he let him through!
No. It's contact.
This is good. This is just what Tobias needs. Is he getting back on? Where is he?
Oliver will be licking his lips. Oh dear, Matt Burnett.
And still he's trying to get it back on track. It's cost him a lot of time.
He's going to be infuriated with that one, I think. I can sort of see what Chris was doing, but I don't really think that was one where, well, it's difficult.
I don't know, and as we can see now, Dave Oliver does take up the reins.
Yeah, he does, and he's actually got a 7-second advantage now as Dave, so...
I actually think it's McMullen who's right behind him, so McMullen has gained a place and a hell of a lot of time in that pit stop phase, and he's got a chance for a victory here, I think.
And if McMullen's gained time, Alex, that means that Cherney will have as well. Cherney's now actually just behind Burnett, so I'm not really sure what the positions are at the moment, if I'm being honest.
Have to look when it crosses the line, but I actually think Chris Lucky might be leading this race.
I think he could be, and he's fighting hard with these boys.
He is indeed, Chris Lucky.
He's gone from getting everybody through to banging panels. Why we love V8 SuperCars, Alex.
Up the inside.
In a moment, and there's going to be contact there. And McMullen right up the arse of Oliver.
Just making sure his teammate got through there, I think. Give him a helping hand.
He made sure he got through.
And we can see it just in the background as well. Matty Burnett is still just in front of Tobias. Sorry, you did say that a minute ago, but
I didn't realise. I didn't know where they were on the track though, so I didn't want to speculate really. It looks like McMullen gained quite a lot of time on the pitch. Cherney lost a little bit of time there, so
yeah, quite a lot of time actually. He must have took either a little bit more fuel, or
unless he took some tyres, mate, and that might be why he lost about 4 seconds compared to McMullen.
Just have a quick look actually, see what they did during the pit stop phase. Yeah, McMullen's pit stop was a 12.6, Tobias 13.3. Not that much different, to be honest. So
no, it could have been pit in and pit out like we were talking about.
Yep. So you can see where we were going with saying why Marty wanted to fly on into that pit lane.
Yeah, you mentioned that, and that's key really. Is a pit entry on such a tight track like this one, and.
Got a lot of drivers out at the minute as well, I think, looking at the standings.
We have got a lot of drivers out, but actually, considering it's such a small grid and we've had quite a few crashes so far, to have 5 drivers within 7 seconds is still pretty good at this point.
Yeah, I think that just goes to show the sort of the competitiveness of the league.
Yep.
You know, there's normally a battle from start to finish somewhere on track that we can look at, and yeah, it's great to see. But this one's not over yet, half the race to go. I'm sure we're going to see some more action.
And when you consider that actually Marty and Simon aren't actually in that battle, it's pretty impressive really, the show that these leaders have put on, even though they've all managed to hit each other at some point.
Did I miss something off camera? Because Lucky is now in 3rd place with Matty Burnett right behind him and Tobias. I'm going to have a look, see if I can pull something up, because
letting people through, to be honest.
I think we were
He must have damage from that contact, you would think, with Burnett, and I think he let Burnett through anyway because of what happened before, you would think. What's Matt going to have to do now then? He's going to have to regroup, I reckon. Is it just a case of concentration, getting back on the task in hand? Yeah, well,
I'm sure he'll hope that the guys in front will start battling, and that will slow him down and he can close that gap back up. But he's obviously got to keep a watchful eye on Tobias behind him as well. Slightly fresher rubber. It's going to make a little bit of difference, but not much. We're only talking a couple of laps. So, yeah, really, I guess the key thing for him is to focus on what's in front of him, hit his points, and try and catch these guys up.
Yeah, I mean, do we think these guys, these two guys are capable of doing that?
Oh, I think that's lucky. Yeah, it is into the barrier. You just see him in the background.
Look what happened. He clipped the grass, I think, on the braking for the last corner. Yeah, a couple of wheels on the grass, and
he was struggling big time there.
Didn't actually hit anything though. But the American's on his way again.
Should still get some reasonable points out of this, I'd say. Just as we quickly take a look at the replay of that incident.
I have to say, mate, it's a good job we're not racing in this race.
I'd have been out a long time ago.
Oh, we'd have both been out a long time ago. I'd have ended up off the bridge.
Yeah, like you say, he didn't make contact or anything, so yeah, got no problems. He goes off again straight after.
Still going in P5 just about, I think. Atkins is actually only 40 seconds behind. Can you believe it? After he got assaulted by Tim. .2 seconds is the gap then between Dave Oliver and Marlon McMullen. And we've seen all the way through the race that they're quite evenly matched on pace, Alex.
Yeah, Marlon's been sort of been able to hold on to it, although they seem to be pulling away a little bit, so it's not much, but it is enough to give him a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, I think 2 seconds, well, still 18 laps to go. It's a long race, this one, in terms of laps.
Yeah, those fresher tyres are, I think, making a little bit of a difference for Dave Oliver as well.
Yeah, and he was a bit fortunate with Burnett coming to grief earlier on, but then he has driven very consistently today. It's worth pointing out actually that for those who didn't see last week's race, that Tobias Cherney won an absolute cracker from Chris Lucky on the last lap. He was only 9/10 of a second in front of him. Lucky started at the back, but Cherney was very impressive and most importantly mistake-free last week, and he's pretty much carried that over again this week.
Yeah, and you can see he's paying dividends really.
He crashes as I say that. Oh dear, sideways out of the last corner, that's what we like to see.
Yeah, Murray Walkered him.
I'm sorry. All I can say. The gap's down to 1.8 now at the front. So McMullen's getting a move on, he's the pole sitter. So 1.8 seconds is not a lot in touring car racing, really.
No, not when you look at how much work these guys are having to do in this car as well. You can see it can be real easy to lose half a second here, a quarter of a second there, and before you know it, they're on top of each other again.
I have to say, these guys wrestling these cars around this track for 45 laps in the middle of the Australian summer must be the most awful thing ever, but credit to them, they're pushing on and putting on a good show for us here.
Yeah, I think I heard a couple of the guys saying it was sort of 35 degrees yesterday, so I imagine it's pretty toasty at the moment as well. So
definitely if you sat in your racing rig working the wheel. I think it was 3.5 degrees here, not 3.35. I think it was 3.5 degrees here yesterday. For those Australians watching, that's what we have to put up with. Now, Cherney, meanwhile, is really pressuring Matt Burnett now. And Australian summer or not, Burnett's going to have to find a way to keep Cherney behind him.
Yeah, just needs to keep himself tidy, cover the lines, and I think he should do okay, but as we have said and seen, it's easy to make a little mistake. I really ought to keep my mouth shut. Gets a little bit sideways on the exit.
Do we know, stupid question possibly coming up, do we know which country Tobias Cherney's from? Because I haven't been told which country he's from. I think The name sounds Czech, but I'm not sure. As he slides through the chicane.
I'm not 100% sure where his main country is, but he's part of the DH club, so...
We know they usually produce very good in-top drivers in DH.
I think actually Tobias is our first DH member to the league, so...
Yep. And, welcome to him. We've also got a couple of Frenchmen in this race as well, and an American. We've got a couple of Americans in this league. But we'll probably have 3 next year if Richard Lucky joins us as well.
Yeah, well, we haven't got it today. There's no Englishmen.
There's no English. Yeah, they're all lazy.
Yeah, they're all still in bed.
They're either lazy or tight because they haven't bought the track.
Yeah. Yeah, I think actually that's
a combination of both.
Yeah, I think that's a good point actually. Obviously, Oran Park is a new track, and not many of the drivers have it, which is probably why we're seeing slightly diminished numbers here today.
Yeah, you know what? Even for a bit of sloppy driving and a bit of quite a few mistakes made, I think it's been a good one actually so far. As Burnett was full opposite lock coming out of the last corner. That is commitment for you. That is fantastic. I think these guys are actually having to turn right, Alex, coming out of that corner because of the camber and the way that the track, how bumpy it is there.
McMullen now 1.1 second behind Oliver. This battle's going to heat up as well. And Oliver has a teammate in front of him who's coming up to a lap. I'm not sure who that one is.
Tim Walters.
It is Tim. Yeah, I'm sure Tim will just get out of the way pretty quickly. He won't want to get involved in this little team battle.
Question is, is McMullen going to be able to find an overtaking place? That's going to be the key. If Oliver doesn't make any mistakes between now and the end of the race, where's he going to do it? I mean, the main straight is probably the one that you would...
I think, did he just go into the gravel there though, McMullen? I heard something in the background. I don't see him.
He's in the fence. Marlon McMullen's in the tyre wall. What happened there? Oh, he twitched and he couldn't get it slowed down. Off at the fast chicane. And I think that might have just gifted victory to David Oliver. Will Oliver realise that?
Well, I think he'll just knock the pace back a little bit. He'll see on his relative now that he's clear at the front here.
So it's Burnett versus Cherney then for the second position.
Just having a quick look at that back, see what went on.
Hopefully McMullen will try and get back out again. There's still good points to be had here. He can finish 6th, which it looks like he'll be able to get out 6th. As Atkins goes through up into 5th, so that could be quite important for the championship.
Again, and I don't think, as we said, these guys always seem to manage to get themselves in top 5, even with the little sort of disaster starts that they have.
I don't think Atkins will be too disappointed actually, because when he crashed with Tim, he was actually 6th, and now he's 5th. So that's not actually too bad. As McMullen, his car has come down off the jack, so I think he is possibly getting a new set of tyres.
Yeah, that's a major hit there from McMullen.
I reckon he'll be out soon though.
It seemed rather strange. It just seemed almost like he went spearing straight on. I don't know.
He twitched though as he was coming through the chicane. I thought that at first, but he definitely twitched and he had to correct it, otherwise he would have spun. And he speared off to the right, which so often happens. David Oliver looking very good here actually. I'm not going to, hopefully not curse him this time.
Yeah, and he's got behind him and Packaging and More and Azuna teammate as well. So it'd be nice for these guys to get a bit of a 1-2. Although they're a different livery, I'm sure they're all part and parcel of the same team at heart. So they'll take it as a 1-2, I'm sure. So let's hope Matty Burnett can keep hold of this position. But Tobias looking good. He's looking strong. If there's just 1 ounce of a chance for him to get through, he's going to try and take it.
I don't know if this is intentional from from Dave Oliver, but his last 3 laps have been about 3 or 4 tenths slower than the ones before, so maybe he has just taken it a little bit easier. He's got 10 laps to go. He'd have to lose a second a lap to lose this race, so I think he just needs to be consistent and bring this one home for victory.
Yeah, the main battle still on the track. Tobias and Marty Burnett. I have to say, his car looks particularly good underneath him. Let's jump on board and have a look, just see how he's working this car.
It looks very consistent, doesn't it? And I think he's able to ride the bumps well. You can see that compared to when we were on board with McMullen earlier on, there is still a lot of movement in the wheel, but the movements don't seem as frantic.
No, it definitely seems a lot calmer.
And it's almost like he uses a slightly higher steering ratio, that he can just move the wheel around a little bit more and with less movement on the wheel, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it just has that less token opposite lock coming out of the last corner, as you were mentioning.
I think he's got less. I think he's got a slower steering rack in there than possibly McMullen, just by looking at it. And I must admit, he's looking very good. He's usually
he looks quite calm in that car, doesn't he?
Yeah, and pretty much one move of the wheel to turn in, no more corrections really, apart from probably on the last corner. But he's obviously in a rhythm with this track, and this track does look like one where once you get used to it, you know, it can be fairly straightforward. This chicane's brilliant, I love it. Look at that black. You can't even see the second part of that when you come over the hill.
Got 4 laps to go. Chris Lucky still finds himself in 4th place. I don't think he's pitted.
No.
Again. How he does it on the fuel when no one else can, I have no idea. And but Marty Atkins is 7 seconds behind, so I wonder if he's going to hold on to this. I think he probably will.
The only thing I've been thinking about Chris Lucky's fuel strategies. The only thing I'm thinking is, if he can go so fast by saving the fuel and going a bit slower every lap to save the fuel and make sure he gets to the end, if he actually made a pit stop, he'd probably run away with half of these races, I think. Because I don't think that strategy's faster.
No, I'm certainly some tracks it is faster when the pit stops 25-30 seconds plus sort of thing.
I know he hasn't pitted, but he's losing 2 seconds a lap, and in a 45 lap race, could pit even if you don't pit at all, losing 2 seconds a lap is what's going to lose you the race, not.
Yeah, I'm sure today though, as he said to me before the start of the race, that it's pretty much his last race, he thinks, being with his work commitments and that he hasn't really had time to practice. He just got back, so he's just sort of jumped in and he just wants to stay out of trouble, so he's just taking it easy. He's perhaps not up to speed, which is why he is 2 seconds a lap slower doing it. And yeah, he's just run that strategy to see what he can get out of it. But we just saw a little flash in the background there of black, I think that was. So is it Atkins? Sorry,
Atkins just behind. Look, only 5 seconds behind actually. And at this rate, he should get him before the end of the race. Should catch him at least.
So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. But still, second and third.
Continues to sit, yeah. Continues to sit about the second behind, mate.
Yeah, well, actually, I think Burnett's pulled just a little bit away, because I'm sure Cherney was just probably under a second a few laps back now. So it's looking a little bit more comfortable for Burnett. What we lap 38.45.
If Cherney had a little mistake, let's have a look. 109.8 a couple of laps ago for Cherney, and Burnett consistently around 109.5, in fact 109.1 as well, so slightly more consistent for Burnett, and I think that is paying off as McMullen comes out of the pits, which is good to see. He's in 8th place and he'll probably finish there.
Just have a quick look at the leader. as he's not had too much camera time today, but running away with it now.
Yeah, should we go on board with him and see what he's doing for a lap in the car? As he's winning the race?
Let's do that. As just as I join him, he's got a whole load of opposite lock on there, so certainly not. Doesn't appear to be as smooth as Matty Burnett in there, but it might have just been a random occurrence, so we'll keep an eye.
He's been drifting around quite a lot as he goes off the track a little bit there to straight line the chicane. That last corner looks difficult to get turned in, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And you're right, he's just having a little bit of opposite. It's only just a little touch, but it looks like everybody's having to do just a little bit just to get it straightened up and go.
I suppose if you want the power to, if you want to get the power on a bit earlier, I suppose that's what you need to do there. We've done, if we go back to our days racing the truck series, on a lot of tracks you have to have a little bit of opposite locked in, you just to straighten it out on the exit, and that's similar concept. I love the fact that when cars are going under the bridge, you can see another one flying over the top of it. It's terrific. Great job by iRacing on this track. Great lighting, beautiful graphics, and really bringing this track to life. And sadly, no longer is, which is a shame.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to see they're doing really great work on all their new tracks as well. They all look fantastic.
Whoa!
Just hold on to that. All right. But yeah, every new track that seems to come out just seems to get better and better, in my opinion. And I cannot wait for Interlagos, Montreal, Bathurst. They're just all going to be amazing.
There's more to come. Long Beach, Donington Park.
Long Beach is soon. And any iRacing member will know what that means.
Yeah, Donington Park, Thruxton, Mallory Park, Snetton. All great new tracks we can look forward to. Didn't you say there was another, and there's some new cars coming out as well? We'll have a was it a Kia touring car? Yep. Honda Civic, BDCC car, Super GT Honda,
yeah,
new
BMW license as well. So yeah, it's definitely going places, and we're gonna have some. Well, I'm sure there's some guys thinking, well, we're going to do some more championships and leagues and things like that. We might be busy up here in this commentary box, you know, mate.
Yes, I'm sure we will. And the thing is, we need to find time to race in a couple of these. I know you'll be busy. You'll be busy with your commitments, but I'm sure we can drag you along to the BTCC series if we do it. I'm sure we will. Yeah, I'm sure we can drag you into a couple of races. As Dave Oliver on his merry way to victory, as Cherney seems to have given up with Burnett. I don't know if he actually made a mistake, or he's maybe running a bit low on the gas, I wonder, because he's gone very wide there. He's let McMullen through. If there's a slight fuel issue for Cherney. So Atkins actually up to fourth, who missed that, getting past Chris Lucky. And if it is to be Lucky's last race, the top 5 isn't a bad effort, really. No, especially with no practice.
Yeah, exactly. With the lack of practice, he's got just dumped a set on there probably and gone.
We're going to miss him if it is his last race, though. It's fair to say I think he's the most excitement we've had in this league.
Yeah, definitely. So he's been a fantastic member as well. Committed to the league. Good, clean, fair driver. It's everything the Apex Racing League want from its members. So yeah, we wish him all the best with his career and his job, and hope that all pans out. And we look forward to him popping back every now and again just to do a bit of a cameo appearance.
That's it. Of course, we will have him back if he wants to come back. And at the moment, who knows, he might get a break with his shift patterns or something where he might be able to come and join us again for a full season. I'm sure that will happen soon, hopefully. And David Oliver's only 3 laps to go now. Alex, he's really navigated this tricky circuit extremely well today.
Yeah, fantastic drive, kept himself out of trouble really. Not only was he quick, but he was consistent as well, and that's what's going to win him the race today.
Yep, not to speak too soon, hopefully, but he's not got long to go now.
Yeah, let's hope I just didn't worry him again.
He's back the pace off the high 1 minute 9s. Doesn't really need to push it at all now.
Yeah, fastest lap for him today, a 1 minute 8.2 as well, so it shows that he had the pace as well when he needed to deliver.
Yeah, let's see if we can find the fastest lap of the race. Cherney did a 1:07.7. Pretty impressive. Yeah, there isn't a faster lap than that. So, good effort from Tobias. He will pick up the fastest lap today.
Yeah, the only other driver
to
get a 1:07 is Marlon McMullen as well.
Right, yep.
But yeah, David Oliver with just 1.5 laps to go at the moment.
Yeah, not long left for him now. He really has deserved this victory. If he can, well, that's if he can get to the end, of course. We're not going to presume before he does, but if he does indeed win the race, he will have deserved it very much.
Let's just jump back on board and watch this last lap and a half. Make sure he doesn't make any mistakes. Definitely looks calm in there. He doesn't seem to be working it even anywhere near as much as what he was earlier as well. So it really has chilled it out a bit.
It's such a it'll be such a successful outing for REM as well today. First and second. What you want? Journey's going to come third.
Yes.
He's backed right off now, Journey. I wonder if he might have fuel issues here. He's backed him well off the pace.
Well, surprising because he took a little bit longer in the pit stops as well, so I think he took more fuel than others. So yeah, it's a bit strange.
Unless he took tyres and not enough fuel, possibly.
Yeah, that's true. That.
Oh,
David just coming around the hairpin, slow.
Got the uphill section towards the bridge to deal with.
Yeah, you can hear he's just bringing it home now. He's not pushing it at all. Whoa!
Oh, he's lost it. No, he hasn't. Oh.
Well.
Oh my God.
Right in the mouth moment there. Just as I said.
Grief.
I think that was a bit of an eye opener for him, and he's just bringing it.
Now he's coasting in.
Yep, he's just. That definitely has woke him up a little bit. Burnett 5 seconds behind.
He's not out of fuel, is he?
I don't think so. I can't hear it spluttering.
Yeah, but Burnett's coming around the last corner.
Nah, he's got it covered, no problem.
Has he?
I think he's just let his teammate win.
Oh, no he hasn't. There we go, just about. Gets over the line. Dave Oliver wins by 0.7 seconds. Excellent performance. Burnett in second, Journey third.
I saw an REM car come flying past from the inside, and obviously it was Marlon McMullen, so getting those two confused, but yeah, he just sort of brought it home. Great driving there.
I didn't think he could have been out of fuel there, but I think McMullen's just taken someone out, hasn't he?
That's Tobias. So let's just hope Tobias didn't have a zero incident. I'm sure the guys would have had an off track here and there. So
he's chasing him now, look. He's hit him, so he's after him. Couple of guys still to finish. Chris Lucky.
Yeah, Chris just coming across. He looks like he might have run out of fuel.
Possibly. Yeah, and Falters then in 6th. Simon Black a lap down in 7th. Marty Atkins is delighted with 4th place in the end there. Considering what happened to him.
Yeah, definitely.
Kevin Johnson, Brenton O'Brien didn't actually take part in the end.
Yeah, I think a few of the guys really struggled with ping today and poor internet connection. Like I say, this might be why we need to reassess.
As Dave Oliver is going to celebrate with some donuts. And beautifully done, though.
Oh, this could be interesting.
Excellent.
Yeah, congratulations, Dave. I think that's his first victory in the series. Might be mistaken.
He's had some good finishes. I don't think he's had a victory, though. And look at that, he's laying down some graffiti of his own on the tarmac there. Lovely donuts. Beautiful. I'm pleased for Matt Burnett actually after the crash with Chris Lucky. Coming second and so close to winning in the end. If Dave Oliver had binned it on the last lap, I'd have disowned him, I think. The 10-second lead.
He nearly did it.
He nearly did.
He must have been listening to the stream just as I say that. Yeah, he's taking it easy. Ah, sideways.
Yeah, I think he was so scared there. I think that was just instinct correcting the car like he did. It was a terrific effort. In fact, I'm going to go back to the last lap and see his slow motion drifting session.
That's not working, David. The wheels are not spinning on widescreen. As you can see, plenty of gas left in that tank as well, so...
Tell you what, Dave is a lucky boy. Really is lucky. I was watching this back in slow motion. He came over the bridge, I don't know what happened, whether he just gassed it too early or something. Maybe he just lost... I think he just lost the rear on the braking. Properly sideways. Oh! That was a proper drift, wasn't it? Oh dear. He was turning left all the way through that right-hand corner, Alex. Fantastic. Great victory for him. And very entertaining race, Alex.
Yeah, great race today. Lots of different little individual battles going on again. We always see that every week now, I think, as well. But some good action at the front as well, and couldn't really call it halfway through the race. Just
that's it. And when you don't know who's going to win, it definitely adds the excitement.
Yeah, we'll just give it a few minutes just for the drivers just to get themselves into TeamSpeak and up and ready for an interview. We'll just take a quick break and be right back with the interviews.
We've done that with iRacing. We're creating a new NASCAR sanctioned series, a new division of NASCAR that people from all over the world can compete in from their homes.
They're all just fans really wanting to know and to be able to get as close to the realism of driving a race car as possible. And there's nothing really that catches it quite like iRacing.
It can be a tool for guys that don't have a lot of experience at a track or don't, have never been somewhere. You can crash a lot. It doesn't hurt. Doesn't cost you a lot of money, and you can get an idea of what's going on before you ever get to the racetrack.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here. We're just dragging up the race winner today, David Oliver. Welcome to the com box. Congratulations on your victory today. Tell us a little bit about your race, how it went. You must be stoked.
I am pretty pumped. Thanks, guys. Started, I think it was from about 5th or 6th, and yeah, a bit of jostling at the start with the two CST guys going off, which caused a bit of a flurry through the front few guys, and yeah, once got through that, and one or two guys had a few issues, and I nearly went off on turn 2 pretty badly, but managed just to stay on, and then after that just knuckled down and managed to stay behind Marty up until the pits, and I think he had an issue. So.
Well done, Dave. Today, great drive. Would you say that the consistency you showed today was the key to the victory for you?
Yeah, I think it was. I've managed to go fairly well here in the official race a few weeks ago, and just got a decent setup, which is really consistent and doesn't really burn the tyres off or anything like that. So, but yeah, consistency was the key. So it is a tough track, and just keeping on the road does definitely help.
I do want to talk quickly about the last lap, because you very nearly ended up in the fence.
Oh, was that the drift across the bridge?
Yep. Was that intentional?
Yeah, just a bit.
It didn't look intentional when we were on board with you, when you were frantically trying to hold the steering wheel. There were some serious movements there.
Yeah, I think it could have gone either way, but yeah, stuff, so yeah. I figured I would have it, but yeah, if I lost, it would have been embarrassing.
It was definitely an action-packed race, mate. Obviously, the start was quite interesting with the CST drivers going off, and then Marlon losing it as well at the same place. Did you? Then you got past Tom pretty quickly. Is it as hard to overtake there as what it looks like?
Yeah, it is pretty hard. Like, you definitely got to pick your spots and stuff. Like, I'm not sure if you saw when I came out of the pits. I think it was a lap or two later. I think it was Chris Lucky. Pretty much as a case of, I think he was on all tyres. So it's just a case of just had to dive into turn 2 and get him. I think Marlon followed suit and gave me a good tap and hit me at the back. But yeah, that's pretty much. There's only a few spots that you can safely pass, and you've got to be pretty much on it to do it.
We're on to Brands Hatch next week, last round of the season. Are we hoping for a repeat performance there then?
I hope so. I just think I went fairly well there last time, because that would have been my first or second proper round there last season. But yeah, I'm hoping to go fairly well and get a solid top 5.
Well, congratulations again, Dave. Great race. Nice to see you at the top of the podium.
Thank you very much.
And we hope to see you back there sometime soon.
Thank you very much.
Is
Well done,
just
mate.
before you leave, is anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, to the rear end Team Australia guys, and Zona and DO Photo, and yeah, that should be, and the rest of the teammates.
Cool. Cheers, Dave. Take care.
Thanks very much, guys.
Well, I don't seem to have anybody else, and a lot of people disappeared out of the team speak rather quickly. So I think we'll just have a quick summary, mate, and wrap it all up.
Yeah. Enjoyable round, I think. I think we feared the worst, didn't we, early on when everybody was crashing, and it didn't look like we were going to get anybody making it to the end. But after that, it was a pretty good race. A bit of tactics going on there, and yeah, there was a bit of argy-bargy going on, but I suppose that's what V8 Supercars are all about. Brands Hatch next week then, mate. Are you wanting to take part, do you think?
I might have a little dabble. I'm not sure, to be honest. I might just sit up here and broadcast it. I will be doing a lot of practice in the McLaren, ready for the 2.4 race. So
we need to make a glorious comeback.
There's nothing glorious about my V8 driving.
But you see, we can cover up our lack of skill in the car by just doing the same track every season.
Yeah, this is true.
This is the plan all along.
But yeah, no, I might have a little dabble. I don't know. So I know for sure the guys would like us to broadcast it as well. So we'll see what we can do, if we can do some onboard live stuff as well as
oh dear.
as well as doing some commentary as well. So got a new system being built. So we trialed a new picture-in-picture system today. Seemed to work pretty well, and I think the sort of the synchronization between the two is much better than what we'd run on previous weeks. So yeah, I'm hoping with the new system in place, doing the broadcasting off of 3 screens rather than 2 is always a bit of a squeeze. We should be able to successfully do some running as well as managing all that at the same time. Might have to switch back to single screen, but should be interesting.
Right, we'll see what we can do. Right, thanks very much everybody for watching.
Yeah, thanks
thank
to
all
the sponsors, yeah.
And all the drivers as well. As usual, it's always great to get up on Saturday morning and see some excellent racing action. So, thanks for watching, guys. We will see you next week at Brands Hatch. Who knows, we might even be racing. United Racing Reunion. See you later, guys. Thank you for watching. Go out, we will be racing here in Monte Carlo. Look, but never stare. And we're away. And it looks like a good start by Pilkey and Bachelor Dad looking for a way through. The Ferrari of Ant Warrior in second place is lagging all over the track there.